Good morning, everybody. It is moving day, so we are going back to Colorado today. Thankfully, my dad drove down to help me out, and he's going to be driving the Volt behind the motorhome, just because we're not super certain about the condition of the motorhome, especially after being hit by a tornado 2 months ago. I'm not going to lie, I am having some anxiety. I have made a lot of repairs to the motorhome, and it's in better shape than I think it was even before the tornado happened. But I also upgraded the shock absorbers on it, so I'm hoping that that really helps out with the ride quality. Especially getting into Colorado, I am extremely concerned about the road conditions going into Colorado. If you've ever driven on I-70 going from Kansas to Colorado, you know as soon as you hit the Kansas-Colorado border, the road instantly turns to crap. I mean, it's literally like tire-busting potholes for the next 100 miles. And honestly, I'm super unhappy with CDOT for that. Colorado Department of Transportation has really dropped the ball on that one. And literally every time I go through there and I blow a tire on one of those potholes, I call them and I make sure they understand how upset I am. And what happens? I go back there and there's still a bunch of potholes, even years later. I actually have the most severe ones pinned on my maps so that I know to avoid them when they're approaching. It's that bad. Colorado roads are terrible, especially on I-70. So I am honestly really nervous about this drive. I'm really hoping that I don't blow a tire on the motorhome, because that would be a terrible experience. But we're going to be taking off in just a second, and I'm going to try and update you guys as much as I can. Obviously, I'm going to be driving a motorhome, so that's going to be my #1 priority, is focusing on driving the motorhome and not creating a video. But I'll try to update you guys as I can and when it's safe to do so. So the trip's going well so far. I've only filled up one time, and we're doing quite a bit better on gas mileage than I was actually expecting to. So I think we're only going to have to fill up the one time, which would be pretty neat. I'm trying to time it just right here so that when I get to my destination, I have pretty close to an empty gas tank, because, well, I'm not going to travel for quite a while, so I don't want to buy a whole bunch of gas that's just going to go bad, you know? I think I've mentioned it before, but in case I haven't, the way I travel around is I move to one new destination and I stay there for a few months, and then I move to another destination and I stay there for a few months. So, you know, it doesn't take very long for gas to go bad at all, and I don't want to spend $200-300 on gas just for it all to go bad before I travel next, you know? It is a sweltering hot day outside though, so I'm not going to lie, I'm having some trouble with that. It is 101 or 102 out today, and the air conditioner on the motorhome is just not quite cutting it, and I have been very tempted to try and figure out how to get the mini split turned on so that it's not so raging hot. But we're just chilling. The cats are just chilling inside the dashboard because there's a vent that I unhooked for them to, I guess, stay cool in there on the really hot days. And they're just chilling. As you can see behind me, well, you may or may not be able to see behind me, it is a little bit of a mess back there at the moment, just because I just sort of shove everything that I had on the counters into the sink. I'm sure you can probably see it right back here. Just to keep everything from flying around, really, is the main point of that. So we have encountered a slight issue. We were driving along, and then suddenly there was a vibration that kind of started going on the right side, so I pulled over just to check and see what's going on. And, well, the tire doesn't look like it's balanced very well, so I'm not sure. We might have to get that balanced maybe on the way there. I just reduced my speed, so we were going about 70 and I just reduced it to 60, so hopefully that is a little bit better. So far it seems to have resolved the issue, but obviously it's something that I'm paying attention to and just kind of keeping my eye on, making sure that the vibration doesn't come back. I do have to say though, I was really nervous about this trip to begin with, and literally the second I fired up the motorhome and drove off the property, it was like this huge weight was released off of me, and I just feel so much less depressed already that we're heading back to Colorado, and I'm going to be able to see all my old friends again. I'm going to be able to hang out with people again, and, you know, hopefully I can continue some of those friendships and have a good time with people. It seemed like there was a major shortage of that in Oklahoma. Like, people just really didn't want to hang out for whatever reason, or they were just kind of weird about me, or just weird in general, and just didn't seem like very good selection of people to hang out with in Oklahoma. And I definitely started to feel very lonely, and I'm very much looking forward to going back to Colorado and being able especially looking forward to being able to hike again. I can't even tell you how excited I am to be able to go hiking again. That's something that I've done for quite a while, and it's something that I do to relieve stress and sort of ease the depression that I suffer from sometimes. Whenever I'm having a really bad day, I just like to go on a hike and cure it all. I do think it's pretty funny though. One of the reasons why I wanted to move back to Oklahoma was because the cost is significantly less, like the cost of living there. But it didn't occur to me that I live in a motorhome, so I'm literally just renting the land. So in the grand scheme of things, I already have my house and I'm just renting the land. And really, I was only saving about $100 a month on the actual spot to park, and maybe another 50 or $100 a month on my car insurance. But that's it. My pay got cut down to about a quarter of what it was in Colorado. I was making $300 or $400 a day in Colorado, but in Oklahoma I was only making, if I was really lucky, about $100 a day. So that's something that I didn't factor in, and it's definitely something that I think about now. I don't know why it didn't cross my mind that I already own the place that I live in, so the cost of living really wasn't going to be that much cheaper, and it really wasn't that much cheaper. So that was a big mistake that I made in moving down to Oklahoma. Honestly, Oklahoma's not a bad state, and a lot of people talk about it as if it's the best thing in the world and it's great for them and good for them, but it's just not for me. It was a huge relief as soon as I started the motorhome and started driving. So we're now in Lyman, Colorado. We spent the night here just to take a break and sort of refresh ourselves, stretch out a little bit. So far, we've been getting pretty good gas mileage on the motorhome. A lot of people have been asking about that. On the first leg of the trip, we were stopping and starting a lot. We were driving through the city mainly, so we were getting not quite as good gas mileage. It was about 7 miles to the gallon, and then on the interstate, we got about 10 to 12 miles to the gallon. So surprisingly good. The Fleetwood Bounder is definitely a very fuel-efficient motorhome, at least more so than some of the other ones that I've driven around, but it has a very flimsy engine, so I'm not too terribly surprised. The lack of power is definitely kind of slightly frustrating though, so there's that trade-off. So we're back in Colorado, and I can't even describe to you the feeling that I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling so relieved and so good. I'm feeling like life is just going in the direction that I need it to be going right now. And it's kind of crazy because just a month or two ago, my life was completely decimated. My motorhome was barely livable, and I had to spend a lot of money to repair it, and I was starting literally from zero. And I'm still not really in the best situation, but it's significantly better than it was 2 months ago. I gotta say, it's a huge relief, and I'm super glad to be back in Colorado. And I start my job at Anderson Farms tomorrow. Technical work is really my thing, so I'm really looking forward to doing that. I'm really excited to get started and to start building stuff for Anderson Farms again. Well, that was a really long drive, and I'm completely exhausted, so I will catch you guys in the next video. I'm probably going to start doing some vlogs working at Anderson Farms just to kind of give you guys an idea of what that's like and what I do there for the farm. That way, if you're interested in doing technical work for an event farm, kind of like Anderson's, you kind of know what you're getting yourself into. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel down below, and I will see you guys in the next video.